espero que nadie se ofenda, pero hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo.
Aparece na esquerda, vai romper a área, lá está ele. Dário Núñez para cá, para lá, passou, tirou.
Só nós sentimos assim.
Good evening. Welcome. Episode 69, 3 points at the death. Never. Today we got Bill, we got Jay, we got Oscar, and as is custom, one of us is always late. This time it's Kenny. I'm sure he'll join us shortly. Gentlemen, how are we?
How you doing, boys? Good here.
Oscar said he wasn't going to be nice in today's podcast, so can't wait to hear what he's got to say. We got to cover Benfica 0, Bayern 4, Champions League disappointment after 70-odd minutes of decent football. 0-1 victory in Vizela at the weekend when we thought it wasn't going to happen. It happened and came from a foot that Oscar will be praising. Or the assist came from a foot that Oscar will be praising. We'll talk about the depth in our squad. There's been a lot of talk about, and we probably spoke about at the beginning of the season, where we think there's depth in the squad. There's options on the bench. We'll talk about that. Is there really good depth? Are there more names than quality? We'll touch on that, and then we will quickly make our predictions for tomorrow's match in Guimarães with Benfica going to Vitória Sport Clube for the Taça da Liga in a game that we have to at least win or draw for us to have a chance to proceed to the next round in the last match of the group stage. So to start things off, we are going to kick it off with Benfica 0, Bayern 4. A game where only the really, really optimistic will have predicted a victory. I think all of us here predicted a win except Oscar. I think Oscar's the only one that predicted a defeat. I think a lot of us thought with our heart, unfortunately, even though we might not wanted to. A game that statistically Bayern had more ball, Bayern had more chances, but a game that I thought Benfica, intensity-wise, matched them for 75 minutes, 70 minutes, and then that set-piece goal just completely deflates the team. I'll start with Oscar. I'm going to start with you just to get some hot takes out of the way. Give me your opinion on what you thought of that game. Did you really think that Benfica had a chance? Do you think that I watched a lot of programs over the course of the week, and a lot of on the Portuguese channel they were saying, or some of the Portuguese channels they were saying, did Bayern play down to Benfica, right? Was Bayern really playing at full throttle, or were they in kind of a cruise control in the mindset of the goal will come, right? We're creating chances, the goal will eventually come. Or do you think that they were really putting it all on the line and Benfica just were able to hold their own long enough until it just fell apart?
I think Benfica played really well. They came in with, I think, the same tactic they had against Barcelona. They came in with that kind of mindset, which is let them have the ball. We'll defend well as a whole team and then counterattack. and that's use the Darwins, the Rafas to counterattack on them. Well, Bayern is not a Barcelona at this time. Bayern is a machine, well-oiled machine. And it was a matter of time. To me, it was a matter of time. Benfica had a few chances. They could have gone up 1-0. But I don't know if the Benfica had gone up 1-0, Bayern wouldn't have scored 5-6 right after that. Like, that's how Bayern operates. It's unfortunate that different levels. I was impressed with Benfica for the first 70 minutes, even at first 80 minutes. The free kick goal, it's a free kick goal. You can't do nothing about that. And then Everton scoring that own goal basically just deflated the whole team. Once it went down 2-0, I think the team was just legit said, okay, we're done. Let's give it up. Let's give up. But I was really impressed. Benfica played really well for the first 80 minutes. I legit thought, I'm like, man, I was wrong about this, because I predicted a 1-3. Benfica scoring one goal. They could have scored that one goal right before Bayern scored this on the 70th minute. Yaremchuk could have gone one up, 1-0, right?
Yep.
And he missed that goal wide. And now right like a minute later, they scored it on a free kick. So we could have gone up 1-0 on the 70th minute. Would have made teams a lot interesting. It would have been, to be honest, it could have been a very, very interesting final 20 minutes of the game. But I think I was impressed with Benfica for the first 80 minutes, and then I just don't know how they fell apart like that.
Good points. Just quickly before I pass the ball here, welcome, Kenny.
What's going on, guys? Clean smile, Kenny.
And good evening to everyone in the chat. Boa noite a todos. We got Nelson, we got Jose, Lydia, Tiago. Anyone else that's watching, leave us your thoughts, leave us your opinions during the conversation. And if you have any questions, we'll try to get to them all. Jay, I'm going to pass it to you. Do you share the same sentiment as Oscar? He mentioned the Yaremchuk chance, a chance that I sure as hell didn't think he was that fast. He bodied Upamecano off. He went from the midfield line all the way to the box. I think if Upamecano didn't have a yellow card at that time, he would have taken him out way earlier, but he had a yellow card, so it conditioned him. But the miss was disastrous. Diogo Gonçalves had a shot. Neuer made a huge save. Darwin had a shot. He made a huge save. I would ask you, do you think throughout the entire game, in terms of difficulty, do you think Odysseus or Neuer had the more difficult of saves to make throughout that game? And your opinion on the game, of course.
So regarding the game, I kind of agree with everything that Oscar said. We had opportunity to score. We kind of played with them up until, like you said, 70 to 75th minute, around that time. But we weren't able to produce on our chances, which in these type of games we have to. You mentioned the Darwin miss, or the shot that the goalie saved. Diogo had like you mentioned, Diogo had a nice shot. And then the most disappointing was Chuck. He did all that work, and even if he laid the ball, he could have laid the ball off to Darwin too. He was there, but just like in these types of games, we need to score in our opportunities. And then, like Kenny mentioned in the previous chat, as soon as they scored, the floodgates open. It just started pouring goals for them, and it's like they just need one to go in, and then that's it. And you get 4 or 5. And I feel like that happened to Portugal in the World Cup against Germany. Like one goal happens, and then see you later. Like they just start pouring on us. And for some reason, Germany has our national team and our numbers. So it's something that continues on, I guess, with that. Regarding the goalies and the saves, dude, Odysseus came up with a couple of huge saves.
He had that save with his foot.
That went to the bar.
The one with the foot was ridiculous.
The one on the header in the beginning, I thought was like straight at him. Good reaction, but I thought it was straight at him. It's still good.
But like Coleman also had a shot in the first half as well.
I'm trying to think of that one.
Neuer, it was right after I actually wrote it down. It was right after the Darwin shot. But anyways, I mean, as far as huge saves, I think Neuer took the cake on that. I know Odie had that one with the leg, which was probably the best save of the night. Also the luckiest save of the night, because a little deflection like that, the ball hit the post. But Neuer, Darwin saved, the one that Darwin shot was nasty. And the one that Diogo shot as well was really good. I just thought, I remember texting you when Darwin didn't score that one. I was like, dude, that was really our opportunity to kind of dictate the game a little bit, and scoring another early goal probably would have had us hopefully like a similar result with like we did with Barca, but it didn't happen that way. Their keeper came up huge, and they played really well. They kept going over the top, and I thought Sane just was unbelievable in this game as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the only difference between the Barca game and Benfica and Bayern game is Benfica took their chances and scored, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we obviously Barcelona didn't create chances like Bayern did, but Benfica, every chance Benfica had almost against Barcelona seemed like a goal, or like it was like just like those opportunities that Benfica took advantage of. Darwin scored early, the chance that he had. Darwin scores early against Bayern. It changes the whole game. Like it's the chances. And we talked in the last podcast. We're gonna have probably like 2-3 max chances to score. We have to take advantage. Because if we don't, they'll own us because they won't miss many chances.
Yeah, I also thought there was parts of this game that, unlike the Barca game where I felt like we just countered, there was parts of this game where we kept possession and we controlled the game for a bit.
When Bayern scored, I thought we were on top.
Yeah, obviously you're not going to do that for long periods of time against a Bayern, right? Like eventually they're going to get the ball and they're going to keep it. But that Barca game, I felt like every chance we had was just a counter, right? We never built up anything. It was just get it, move it quick, and counterattack. Whereas against Bayern, I felt like there was periods in that game where we controlled it and kind of had a slow build up to something and not just counterattack and just bomb down the field.
And one more thing that I noticed during, like, especially the goals, they all came. Who's the center back that plays on the left side with next to Grimaldo? Is Vertonghen?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they attacked it, but the one that Everton scored the own goal was on the left side. Lewandowski's goal that came from the left side, and even Sané's goal came from the left. Like all those opportunities, and that was a problem with us last year. I know we got rid of Tavares, so we can't blame him anymore. But it's still an issue with defending on that side of the ball.
And to be honest, Grimaldo the first half until they scored, Grimaldo's probably having one of his best games. He was unbelievable.
But it comes to like that liability of him, like because like I remember this, especially the Sané goal. He tried to go for a tackle and the guy just ran right by him. I was just like, dude, like that is poor defending, and like you can't let that happen. And Bayern takes advantage of those opportunities. And then, like I said, one goal for us would have been awesome, but they score one goal, and then we look up at the scoreboard, it's 4-0. It's like, what the hell? What the hell just happened here?
I'm still not convinced that the free kick, that was actually a foul.
I didn't see the replay, but I heard people.
I think Otamendi's reputation is what hurts him there. I think if it's someone else, the ref lets it go, right? In that whole game, that whole half, he was all over Lewandowski. And the ref was calling everything, right? I mean, Otamendi's playing him tough, so it's fine for the ref to call it. But I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was soft. I think Lewandowski felt Otamendi there and took the dive, and it paid off.
Yeah, Nelson's got a couple of comments here. Este Bayern é uma máquina. Temos que pensar que eles limparam a Champions há duas temporadas sem uma única derrota ou empate. They've lost 4 Champions League games in the last 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And he also says, Grimaldo sem apoio é buraco. O Grimaldo esteve bem enquanto o Darwin o ajudou a defender. And that was one of the points that I wanted to jump on here is the reason for Everton coming in the second half, when he came in, was Jorge Jesus said that he needed someone that was going to help Grimaldo defend because Gnabry had come in. They still had Lewandowski in there. They still had Sané come in, still in there, right? They were creating all sorts of problems, and that was the reason why he had Everton come in. And unfortunately, 6 minutes into him being on the field, he ended up scoring an own goal. But I agree with that. On the other side, and Bill, I'll ask you your opinion on the game. But then on the other side, I don't know if you guys noticed, at the beginning of the game when André Almeida was there, I felt like he controlled play better defensively. Offensively, he didn't give us as much. But then when Diogo came in, Coleman took him to school. I mean, Diogo gave us a hell of a lot more offensively, but defensively, he was against Western Mass Pioneers, just getting run ragged all over the field. He didn't know who was coming, who was going. He had no idea what was going on. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I noticed it straight away. Bill, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, like everyone else has touched on, I thought Benfica came in with a clear game plan, right? Not sit back, defend, keep a tight line, and try to hit him on the counter and kind of do what we did with Barca and take advantage of our opportunities. Unfortunately, this game we didn't put the ball in the back of the net. I think we had two or three clear chances to score. I think if that Darwin goal in the first half goes, or the Darwin shot goes in, I think that changes the game. But I thought up until that 70th minute mark, I thought Benfica played pretty much toe to toe with Bayern, and I think up until that point, the draw probably would have been the fairest result for both teams. Right, both teams had chances, but I think that second goal, the own goal, just killed the team. I think after the free kick goal, there was a possibility of kind of picking your heads up going again, but that own goal a few minutes later, I think just killed the team. And as Kenny mentioned in the last pod, once Bayern gets one, like it's the floodgates. They just keep going, right? Like, so that one came, and it was like the game they had against Frankfurt, I think it was the weekend before, where they scored 4 goals.
The game they lost against, it was Bayer Leverkusen. They lost against Frankfurt.
Yeah, they scored 4 goals in like 10 minutes. It was the same thing.
They did that to us.
Yeah, they got the one and then killed us in that 10-minute gap.
I think the game, and I think I was Nelson Silva that said it. The game completely changes. It doesn't change at the 70th minute when the free kick is scored. It changes when Yaremchuk comes off for Everton, and that moves Darwin to the middle, and Everton is supposed to be on the left side helping Grimaldo, right? What Darwin was doing most of the first 75 minutes. And that basically, once that happened, 3 goals happened from that side. So that game changes on the 76th minute when the sub is made for Darwin to go into the middle, and Everton go to the side. Now, I know Jesus said that he put Everton there to help Grimaldo defend. Obviously, that didn't work out in his favor because it worked out opposite.
Yeah.
But I thought JJ came there with a good plan. Like I felt like, at least in my opinion, he had a good, solid plan, and then, like everyone mentioned, they scored, and that's it. It was game over.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's different realities. And Kenny, I'll give it to you, and I'm going to ask you this question, as I feel like you have enough optimism to see some light here. But I'll open it up to the rest of the team to shed their thoughts here. One, obviously, the thoughts on the game, but two, I guess this is two in one here. Realistically, going into it, we knew these were two different realities, right? On the field, while for 70 minutes Benfica played out of their skin, that's just not a level that we're used to in the Portuguese. It's just not, right? Like, we can put in a performance like that, but Portuguese teams aren't capable of putting in a performance like that week in and week out, right? Bayern Munich had a game 3 days after we played, right? Just like we did, or 4 days after, and they won 4-0, right? Like, they just.
But why is that?
Because it's just a different reality. It's a different type of player. It's a different quality. It's a different level, right? Bayern Munich is used to playing.
Do they train differently?
This is my opinion. Is these players, right? You look at their squad, right? Like, they just have a completely different caliber of players than us. It's just a reality of it, right? Money buys this different caliber of players, right? We don't have players of the caliber of a Coman, of a Sané. Sané was running ragged. Like, he was just doing what he wanted. But are there, given that this reality is so different from them to the Portuguese league, are there positives that we can take from this game, if any?
Well, I guess I'll get to that after. My view on the game, I mean, you guys said it all pretty much. I think the result obviously doesn't justify the effort that we put in. I think the 4-0 is a heavy result for the product we put on the field. Like you guys said, up to the 70th minute, we held our own. But we knew they were going to score, and we didn't take our opportunities, and so we paid it at the end. I know you guys. I think that the change came for me. It's as simple as that the second goal, the own goal by Everton. It just demoralizes a team. I mean, 1-0, you're still going in there for a fight. I think Jesus was about to make like 3 substitutions right before that own goal to, the last effort, the last push on the team. That happens. Those 3 guys come in. They don't have that same view of the game now. They're going in to fight for that final result. Now it's 2-0 with 10 minutes left. It's like, whatever. And then, then the onslaught happened. They just kind of took over. But I mean, what can we take away from it? I mean, yeah, we played par to par with them for 70 minutes, but that's not going to be enough. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we really needed a point out of this game, and we didn't get it, and we made our life a little bit difficult now for the rest of the campaign. I don't know. I mean, I liked that. I don't even know what we call him. Nemanja
Radonjic. Yeah,
Radonjic. I think he came in and gave us a little bit of a spark. Right? He came in that game, right?
Yeah. No, Vizela.
He came.
Oh, he came in for Vizela.
The subs were Diogo for André Almeida, Everton for Chuk, Tarap for João Mário, Gonçalo Ramos, and Pizzi for Darwin and Rafa Silva. But I think the subs that he makes, Tarap, Gonçalo, and Pizzi, I think we're thinking of, let me just get these players off to rest because this game's done.
I think he's going for a final push. I mean, Tarat's an all-out player. I mean, that's going for a goal there, or at least tying it. I don't know. It was difficult how that ended, considering that I thought we played pretty well for most of the game. So it was kind of demoralizing, and I think you could see that on the players towards the end of that game.
Any positives that you can take?
I mean, I mean, the positive is that we held our own against them, right? But at the end of the day, you needed a tie there. I mean, it's still a loss. It's a heavy loss on the score sheet. I mean, I don't know how else you can look at it. I mean, does it say, oh, we can go to Bayern and we can go to Munich and get a result out of there? I don't think so. It still doesn't change my mind about that. It's going to come down to the Barca game at this point, and that's going to be tough too.
I agree.
Oh, didn't I say that from the beginning? Holy shit.
Nuno says here in the comments, sinceramente acho que o Benfica quebrou porque não marcou, simplesmente isso, e com a fadiga mental ainda pior foi. I agree, right? If Benfica scores, it just gives you that other lift, right? And I think that also played into it. For the other guys, any positives that you think we could take from this game?
I actually have a negative. I just didn't, in this game, I kind of wrote both, like I kind of took some notes on it. The first half and second half, we started off so slow, completely slow. Then Bayern almost scored like both in the beginning of each half. They could have scored like a couple of goals in each half. And at the end, it's just like in the middle of the game, we start playing better. But to start off the game and to end the half, we struggled. I still remember in the first half, Grimaldo tried to clear a ball. It was Lewandowski's disallowed a goal. It's pretty much right, like halftime, and Grimaldo just kicks the ball like up in the air, and like it's not even a great clearance or anything, and they go down. And luckily, it was a handball, but it's just like I don't know what's going on with them, if they're tired or if they're not ready to start the game. But something like that needs to happen because that actually carried on to the next game as well.
Bill, Oscar, any positives or negatives?
It's a positive that we suffered 4 goals and Vlaco comes out stronger.
Bill,
does he though?
I think Kenny touched on the fact that we kind of kept up with them for 70 minutes, but I also look at that and take it as a frustration because we go toe to toe with Bayern for 70 minutes, but then we go to Vizela with the same team and fucking look like shit.
Oh, let's wait until we get to that.
And I'll tell you this, I'm glad Sane was the player of the game because he flat out balled.
Yeah, so quickly just catch up on some comments here. Nelson says, como vimos com o Vizela, Adel e Pizzi podem fazer a diferença contra o Vizela. Tiago Weigl fez um grande jogo, foi o nosso melhor jogador, estivemos bem até aos 70 minutos, a própria falta que dá origem ao livro do golo era completamente desnecessária, a partir daí foi sempre a cair, which is something Oscar you always talk about, right? Otamendi making stupid fouls outside the box.
Yeah.
Whether it was a foul or not, I don't know, but it was him.
To me, Otamendi is a great, awesome center back, but I think I mentioned on the text message, it's the stupid fouls that he does outside the box just because he wants to be this bulldog gives a team like Bayern a half a chance to score, right? And I look at Vertonghen, and you guys said he might be the weak link of the league or the team for this year, why not? And I think he's the most consistent and more reliable because he's smarter. To me, he's not as dumb and bulldog as Otamendi is. But
fair. Nuno says, Pizzi e Tarap num Benfica em condições nem sequer jogavam como segundo opções, mas é o que temos e temos de ser sinceros. Tarap nem sequer queria cá estar. Just true. And Nelson, uma nota, há penalty sobre Darwin que o árbitro faz vista grossa. Did you guys think that was a penalty? The ball that came across and he came into his back?
I actually screamed penalty because I saw the defender stick out his arm, like he kind of like stick over Brasso. So I was like, I don't know, like over his back too. So I was kind of iffy, but the ref didn't even check out anything.
It won't. In Champions League, it's difficult to call those.
Oh, I've seen worse in Champions League.
I know we have, but usually they try.
I've seen some fruta, like you like to say, fucking in Champions League as well.
Yeah, no, but Champions League is, especially against the Bayern, that's not going to be called.
Yeah.
All right, looking at the stats here. Goal point gives the man of the match on Benfica to Darwin with a 5-9. On the Bayern side, 8-4 for Sané. Kenny, I'll start with you. Who do you think was your man of the match? You can give one for Benfica. You can give one for the whole game, whatever you prefer.
No, I would say Sané. I think he was the biggest threat on the field. For Benfica, I guess you could say Darwin, but I mean, he's still inconsistent. I mean, he's in a goal drought. He had his chance. He to Oscar's point too. I mean, that chance he had, he made it more difficult on himself. He had a clear path to net, and he kind of fumbled with the ball where he had to like kind of recuperate it, turn around. He got a good shot off, but he still, he still makes little mistakes like that. That makes his life more difficult. That could have been the game changer. I think that, that could have changed the whole game. So it's frustrating that he can't put it all together just yet.
Jay.
The MVP was Sané. If I had to pick one for Benfica, I would probably pick Odysseus because they probably could have scored like another three goals on him.
Kenny did say Odi had to come up with a huge game.
Bill. He was doing that.
He was. We just couldn't put the ball in the net.
Actually, dude, to be honest, I thought he was kind of slow on that free kick too.
I did too, but it goes through the wall.
That's the thing. That I kept watching it. I'm like, dude,
it goes through the wall.
He only sees it after it goes through the wall. Yeah, after it goes through the wall, the ball's low and hard, and no matter what, like if it goes through the wall, it's the wall's fault, not his fault.
It looked
Darwin too.
Yeah, it was someone that turned his head away because if he just stood there and took it right on the chin, that would have been blocked.
Of course, but he might ruin his hair.
Shut up, Oscar. You would definitely move out of the way too.
Oh, I would, but I'm not getting paid $4 million.
Oscar wouldn't be in the wall.
No chance.
Bill, MVP.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sané caused all sorts of problems in this game, and he was interesting enough playing in that role, kind of what Rafa's been doing for us this year, right? The free roaming role behind the striker, and he torched us. On Benfica, I'd probably go with Weigl. I think he, in the midfield, he controlled that game. I think Jean-Marie didn't have his best game, but I think Weigl, just like he's been all season, has been solid in that midfield and controlled it when we had possession.
Oscar?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't take the man of the match from Sané. He scored, he assisted, he was all over the place, and nobody can stop him. And on our side, like I said, for the first 75 minutes, Weigl was a machine in the middle. They didn't give much time to Jean-Marie to play, But Weigl, when defensively, and then starting the game going forward, Weigl was our main guy. And I think I don't think Darwin or anybody else had a game like Weigl against Bayern.
Yeah, I agree. And Weigl had I don't know if you guys remember, I'm trying to bring up the image here, but Weigl had a pass in the second half that completely rips Bayern's midfield in half and gives Diogo this chance.
Yeah.
And he fucked up so bad.
He shot it.
It shot it wide. It didn't even go on net.
Yep.
But wait, keep this image. He passes this ball, all right. But depending on when this Diogo Gonçalves gets to it, like I mean,
No,
that's
Rafa.
All right, and I get the point over here. You have to pass this ball, but I don't know if he has a clear chance on that because you'll be on a tight angle, right? Depending where he catches that ball. But
I mean, if you
right
play
there,
into his path, right, he's going to catch it around here, right? Like, and Rafa's not very good at finishing. We know that, right? But I think you have a better back to Kenny's next gen stats, right? Your probability is probably better here than it is here with 1, 2, 3 players here.
Yeah, but
look
if
at
this,
Rafa would have laid that ball across.
Look at the goalie though. If he tried to bend one around, look at the.
He couldn't have bent it around. The guy's right in front of him.
Yeah, this guy's here.
So who shot that ball?
Diogo, and it ended up like right here.
I thought you guys kept saying Weigl.
Weigl made the pass.
Weigl made the pass.
Yeah,
I actually remember this because Rafa was so pissed that he didn't get that ball.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, Weigl had a huge tackle, won it, got up, and then made the pass.
An inside-out pass. He was facing his own goal and fucking cut them in half.
Yep.
I was very upset. I would say Weigl for me was the man of the match. I thought it was a game that against the German side, against the team that was a rival for him growing up. It was a chance for him to show himself to the German national team since he's been out for a while, and I thought he stepped up. I thought he played well.
Yeah.
Hey, Nelson's comment here is 100% fact. If Weigl or Jean Mario get hurt, we are fucked.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that shortly with our discussion about
our depth.
Moving on, we had a 1-0 victory in Vizela, a match that started slow. Final third, we weren't able to get anything going. I think we had one chance in the first half. Diogo Gonçalves shot, and the goalie made a save that he clearly saved and then argued with the referee that he didn't touch it, which blew my mind. Second half, I thought the team came out with a little bit more urgency, a little bit more intention in the final third. We started to push them back. They weren't able to really break on the counterattack like they were earlier on in the first 15 minutes or so. And then when I figured it was over, it's a point, all of a sudden, Pizzaldinho shows up and puts the ball on a platter for Rafa.
Dude, someone put a banana on that field because that dude just slips and we get the ball. And Pizzi I'm not gonna lie, Pizzi delivered a beautiful ball.
And we come away with
foi cruzamento, foi passe.
Cruzamento passe.
Yeah.
Yeah, JJ said it in the press conference. Aquilo não é cruzamento. Aquilo é cruzamento passe.
It was a nice ball, though.
It was. Oscar, I'm going to start with you again because your boy came in with an assist. I know you were raging in our chat because I'm expecting him to come in the 89th minute, like you normally say. He did.
He gave 84th.
Was it 84?
Yes.
So he came in a little earlier. That as disrespectful or just as disrespectful?
No, it's I still don't like Jesus, and he's ruining a team that started off this season with depth. And we'll talk about it in a little bit. And it's ending this. It's like not even a third way through the season, and we have no depth. You know why? Because he insists on the same 11, doesn't rotate players, and the players he does rotate, it's on 80+ minutes. All right. So it's to me, I'll start off with this Vizela game. All right, against Barcelona. Perfect game plan. I gave it to you. I said it here. Game plan. They're gonna have the ball. We're gonna have a team that's gonna counterattack against a team that's gonna have possession. Perfect game plan. There's no against Bayern. Perfect game plan. We have a team that has the ball. We have Darwin, Rafa, and Yaremchuk that can have speed up top and they can counterattack. Perfect. All right. against Portimonense and Vizela, we're gonna have the ball in the final third. All right, we're gonna have the ball in the final third. What we were lacking against Vizela, what we were lacking against Portimonense, the final fucking pass. The final pass. I've been preaching about the final pass for the last, I don't know how long. When we have possession, it's not Darwin's going to give the final pass. That's why Darwin looks like he's a superstar against Barcelona. It looks like he's never played soccer in his life against Portimonense and Vizela, right? Because he's a guy that needs space. When a team plays up front, he can run behind them, right? When we have possession, we're up front. He doesn't have the space behind the defense to run, right? So it's useless. So playing with Yara, Machuk, and Darwin on a game like Vizela, it's almost useless. And then who do we put in? Okay, that Serbian guy, yeah, I actually liked him. He comes in, he has speed, he's technical, he's good. For a winger, so I think he should use him more. What is that, second game playing in his in the season? Why?
He's been away.
Hurt.
He said they asked him in the press conference, and JJ said that he came hurt, and then he spent a couple of days with the team, and then he went away on international break for a couple of weeks, and they came practice a couple of games with the team, then went away on international break. And he said of the players in the entire squad, he's the one that knows the style and the plan less than anyone else. Well,
he showed that he could play.
He could definitely play.
He can play. So, I mean, if he knows nothing of what the tactics are, then fuck, he's a genius, because he came in and he stepped up and he played probably better than anybody else on the team to play for the first 80 minutes, right? So, and then we're still lacking the final pass. So, and by the way, I was when I texted you guys, Rafa tá arrebentado, he was arrebentado. That guy was legit carrying himself in the field. I don't know how he continued. Fine, he stayed and he scored the tap in, but that should have been a striker that was there. That should have been a striker. It should have been a Darwin. It should have been a Yarmachuk. It should have been a Gonzalo Ramos. Rafa shouldn't be on the 6 to tap the ball in. He's the winger. I don't know what the fuck this tactics are going on with Jorge Jesus and who's playing where.
Dude, he came on the second post.
It tapped it in on the 6. Yeah, I get it, but
he came around the back post. Pizzi put the ball on the back post.
But it's on the 6. He tapped it in. If you look at the replay, it's on the 6.
All the guys jump in for the cross.
Yeah, it was also desperation.
All I know is that
the Hail Mary of soccer.
You're telling me you wouldn't want Rafa if you're down, if you tie 0-0, you have a last opportunity. You want the players to crash the net.
Dude, on the 80 something minute, Rafa's he's legit a foul away from getting hurt seriously. And if we lose Rafa, we're fucked. And Rafa, because he's tired legs, you see how every time they tackle him, the guy will legit get up and grabbing his legs and leaning over his fucking leaning down to the almost puking. Legit, that's what it looked like. He was carrying himself. And then final pass. Who's the best player for the final pass in Benfica? You can say it, Tank. Oh yeah, who's the best player for the final pass? When we need a final pass, we need somebody that's to get the ball to the tap-in spot. Who's the best player we got in Benfica? You can say he sucks defending, he sucks in the midfield, he sucks coming back and chasing players. But who's the best player when we have 90% of possession, like we're having on the final third? Who's the best player to get the ball for a tap-in? But he puts him in on 89th minute every fucking game.
So you want him to, but he's playing on the wing, so you're gonna have to take out Darwin, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, he ended up taking Darwin anyways, but he puts in Everton's and stupid shit like that. To be honest, I kind of wanted to get to Everton. I don't get Everton. But to me, when I've been preaching about the final pass, because it looks like we're getting balls up there and then nothing happens with the fucking chances. We don't create no chances. And look at this. Pizzi comes in 85th minute and we scored a goal on a platter, a ball on a platter, final pass I've been preaching about. So people can hate him all they want, but he's the guy that has the best final pass in our team.
So I'm very happy Pizzi gave that pass, and I was very happy about that. But honestly, dude, I even wrote down Benfica goal, lucky as shit. We legit got that ball because the dude slipped. Or else that game was tied.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
I get it. I understand. But that game was tied. It was a tie. I actually thought we were going to lose that game at one point.
We should have lost.
I thought so too.
We should have lost.
I honestly think that we stole 3 points away from Vizela because Vizela played that good overall. They defended. They really could have scored a couple goals. Well, I actually wrote that Odie had a what the fuck moment right to start off the game.
Yep.
And then this is the funny part. He had a what the fuck moment, and then he comes up with a big save to save his mistake.
Yep.
But I thought Vizela had some chances. I thought they could have scored 2 or 3 goals in this game, and we were lucky to even get a tie. But we got the W. We got the W because the guy slipped in the middle of the field, and that's the only reason why. I'll take this. I don't like how we played. I thought we played like shit. I completely agree with everything that you said. But enough praising Peasy, dude. I get it. He got a great pass, but let's be serious, dude. Let's not say that he's the answer to all of our issues.
I didn't say he was the answer. I just said when we need a final pass, we're not finding one. He's our best option.
So
I think João Mario has a discussion on that as well.
Well, he played the whole game and he didn't get a final pass.
I would actually disagree with that, Jay. João Mario is not a guy that gets many assists. I was going to share some stats here with you guys, which I thought was interesting before I go to the rest of the guys for their opinion. JJ in his press conference after the game said, o Benfica com Pizzi e Rafa dentro de campo, depois de perder a bola para defender, esquece. Right? Mm-hmm. So he's essentially saying he's got 2 players there that when we lose the ball, we don't have the capability to react, to help defend, whatever the case may be. And I was reading Record this morning, and they had some interesting stats in there. Since Rafa joined Benfica in 2016, they have featured together in 122 of 186 league matches. Okay. So the numbers here are going to be with both of them together or with just one of them, one or the other. With both of them, Benfica averages 2.2 goals per match. With one of them, Benfica averages 2.5 goals per match. So I would have thought it was the other way around. So with the 2 of them, they average less goals per match. With the 2 of them, their win percentage is 68.9. With just one of them, their win percentage is 86. With one of them, Benfica concedes 0.5 goals against. With 2 of them, Benfica concedes 0.8 goals against. Right. And to be honest, I would have thought that the numbers would have been much different. I would have thought their win percentage would have been higher. I would have thought that their goals for would have been higher. The goals against doesn't surprise me. But I think there's something there, right? And right, we've talked about PZ not playing as much, blah, 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 right? Do you guys think that this plays a part in it, right? Because he's got a system, he's got a strategy that he wants to implement. And if he has 2 players that even statistically state it, we visualize it, and we've all agreed, I think, to an extent that we can say, PZ doesn't have the intensity to defend. PZ can play that final pass. PZ's helpful in games where we don't have to defend much, but PZ's not helpful when it comes to, having to track back and help defend. Rafa's able to do it because he's fast, but apart from that, he doesn't have a defensive mindset in him. He's just fast, and he's able to get to those spots. Does he have a reason, right? Does this back up his reasoning behind it? Kenny, I'll go to you.
Well, everything you just said, it sounds like, Jesus is taking a page out of like the baseball nerds.
Yeah, he's not. Jesus probably doesn't even know what the stat is.
Guaranteed he does. Absolutely. 100%. The nerds are out, Kenny.
Yeah, sure.
Nerds are out.
So I actually agree with Oscar. In a game like this, it doesn't make sense to have Darwin on the wing because we are holding possession. We're playing on their half of the field pretty much the entire time. It just like Doctor said, Darwin needs more space. So he's pretty much useless unless he's playing in the, as the center forward. And with Yarmchuk there, then what's the point? You play one or the other. So I agree with Oscar on that point. In regards to the game, I mean, it was an ugly game, complete opposite from Bayern. But like you asked me, on the Bayern game, is there anything that you can take from this? I think there's more positive that you can take from this game than the Bayern game. Listen, this isn't going to be the last game that we're going to play like shit. These away games we know are much more difficult than Vizela is one thing, but like there's going to be games in Açores, in Madeira that are going to be just as difficult where we're going to struggle. The championship can be won off of these games. I mean, look at Sporting last year. How many late winners games did they win to win the Campeonato? I think there's more to take from a game like this. It shows that they played to the end. Yeah, they might have gotten a little lucky. They lost the ball, but that's part of the game. They still had to finish, and they made it happen. So I think that's a positive. I think, later down towards the end of the season, they can take a lot from this game that, like, no, we can finish at the 98th. We can we have 5 extra minutes in extra time. We're going to score a goal. I think that's a huge morale booster mentally to bring, when you have another game like this, that's going to come back to you. Like, we've done it before. We can do it again. We have the fans on our side. And I think that is what was missing last year. Last year, games like this, forget it. We wouldn't even have a shot on net for the full 8 minutes and extra time.
Yeah, but doesn't it concern you? Doesn't it concern you that we played down to our competition, like especially like coming from a game from Bayern than to this one?
It's I don't think we played down. I just think it's a different game tactically. Like you're coming from a game where you're so focused on like one of the best teams in the world. Like you're so more focused on staying tactically in formation and blocking their attack, to a game where like you have so much of the ball, like you almost forget, like you almost have too much of the ball at some point that you don't know what else to do with it. Like the ball's not going your way. You're not getting, you're not scoring. You're not the goal. The ball isn't going in the net. It's not going the way you want to. That you just get frustrated and in your own head.
It's essentially the opposite of the Bayern game, right?
Exactly.
We were essentially Benfica. We were Bayern against Vizela, and Vizela was Benfica against Bayern.
I don't agree. I don't agree because Bayern was creating chances. We weren't creating shit. We created that shot. We created that shot with the ourselves.
You're saying like going into the
go back to the stats. We had like
you're gonna have possession.
Yeah, I'm talking about chances to score. We had Diogo's
Darwin's header was a good one too.
Yeah.
Go back to the stats. Like, didn't we have like double?
Wait, which header by Darwin?
The back post that he headed in. The goalie made a quick save, right-handed.
Rafa's disallowed goal was like 42 centimeters.
That's still off. I know.
It doesn't matter. There was chances created.
Yeah, if you score an offside goal, it's not a chance.
Where was it?
Saying there was. I agree with you. I didn't think that we played that well overall.
Well, you can look at it as we played down to our competition, or our competition. Vizela's new for the Primeira Liga.
Yep.
They're playing Benfica, right? They came up this year, right? Yep. They're playing Benfica for the first. They're also playing.
They played well.
They had the best chances to score. It was Vizela.
But we had. But we're holding. What was the percentage? What was
67 to 33?
Yeah,
70% of the ball.
Check Barcelona's possession against us. They didn't create one chance.
Yeah, they did.
Barcelona missed him wide, but I'm talking about what did Audi have to save against Barcelona?
He didn't, because Lucas Veríssimo saved
it.
But it's all right. Our goalkeeper did not have to save anything against Barcelona. Our goalkeeper had to save against Vizela,
well, our goalkeeper had to save that one that he fucked up. So he saved because he had to because he messed up. What was the other one? I'm struggling to think of another one.
Another one that he turned right quick and he shot it like to the side and already saved.
But that was like he grabbed it. He didn't even have to parry.
No, it parried away and he came to chase it after and he picked it up.
I can't even remember.
Well, I'll also say this. I think this game, like this, for me, is the biggest difference maker from last year to this year. Is the fact that, and I don't think this is the first game that we've kind of finished at the end. Maybe it is, but games like this are the difference from last year. Is the I don't know how to say it, like the push, the effort at the end of games to find one. That was what we were missing last year. And I think we have more of a fight this year. And I think it has a lot to do with the fans. I think it has a lot to do with just another year under Jesus. João Mário is helping in the midfield. That all helps. But finding the game winner at the end when it's like where we were all like, this is done. It's a tie game. This is going to be the maker this year.
Kenny, this year, what scares me is we're one injury away from being as bad as last year.
Well,
that's
we'll get into the depth. We'll get into the depth.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that.
I still think we have better players than last year overall.
And name them. I think Vinicius starts in our starting 11 today.
Oh, why did me, dude?
Okay, that's just my opinion.
From last year, I'm saying from last year, Vinicius didn't even play last year.
Yeah, but he was here the summer, and we let him go.
Correct. We sold him.
We'll go by the list.
Bill, what do you want to add to this?
I mean, these guys have touched on it. I think this game was just frustrating after coming from that Barca or that Bayern defeat. I was hoping for a nice bounce back, right? A nice result, get the confidence back up, and we struggle for 90 minutes and then get the goal at the end. I agree with Kenny. I think you do take something away from this, right? Like the fact that they fought till the very end. You can hang your hat on that, right? Like these guys didn't give up last year. This game, there's no chance we would have scored in 90+ minute, right? They would have given up at that point. So I think that is a positive to take from it. We got the 3 points, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
I have one more thing to add. I want to see more of the Serbian.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that.
I definitely want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Everton not come in for a game or two to kind of like. Honestly, to kind of be like, wake up, dude, or else you're gonna lose your spot on the.
I think Nelson made a comment earlier that said Radonjic in 15 minutes showed more than Everton has in a season and a half.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a very curious to say this, but Mike, you know how you put up the stats in the wall about PZ Rafa and how. And then you guys said Jesus took analyzed all this on a game that we needed a goal. Why do you think he left? If we think we were worse, why did he put PZ and Rafa together?
Because he basically put everything out there through the kitchen sink.
But if he knows Rafa and PZ are not good together or they're worse together, take out Rafa and put somebody else.
It's only 6 minutes.
I think it's more defensive.
That's why he puts him in at the 85th.
It's not defensive. It's there to score a goal.
Oscar, I'm sorry, but
it's only 6 minutes.
You're not going to win your argument on that. He's not looking at stats.
It's 6 minutes of a risk that you can deal with, right? The risk of having two guys that aren't going to track back for 6 minutes. You can deal with that.
And they almost
having both of them on for 70+ minutes. That's more of a risk. Having both of them on for 70 minutes, right? There's more of a risk there than having them both on for 6 minutes.
Yeah,
correct. And like you have to think about it. Somebody made the comment here in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Nelson, jogar com Adel, Pizzi, Rafa, Everton, Yaramchuk can defend, right?
You're not going to put all those guys together.
Okay, but when you look at the team,
my problem with Jesus is not putting all those guys together. I'm not asking for them. I'm asking to involve those guys in different games. He has a 1-11 right now, and that's it. Once we lose one of those 11, we're fucked. That's my big problem.
But even Jesus' history is always
tomorrow.
Once he has his 11, he usually
tomorrow's going to play against Guimarães against a whole lift front 11, right? If they lose, tu jogas com a equipa B, bullshit. Yeah, because não rolas com a equipa principal. That's why you lose.
But again, we had this discussion last time. You can have the flip side of this argument. If he comes off the back of the Bayern game and makes changes, right, and we lose, right, we have the other argument. Why did he make so many changes? The team played well against Bayern Munich, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Right?
No, but you just look legit. We're playing Vizela, right? And you just play Bayern. You chase the ball for 60% of the time, 65% of the time, and you're playing Bayern, right? These guys, especially our forwards, the Rafas and all that, if Rafa would have been more effective coming off the bench against Vizela. I might be wrong. Off the bench coming against Vizela, okay, that's fine. You think I'm wrong. Darwin might be more effective coming off the bench against Vizela.
I agree with that.
So, because right now, they're tired from the beginning. Vizela's coming in, obviously, they're fresh legs and all that. First half is going to be a tired team against a fresh team, right? Rafa comes in second half. I think he's a lot more effective against Vizela, 100%.
Correct, but that's us making the right. Like, there's a lot of analytics and thought process that goes it right. Like, there's a lot of analyzing and research that goes into it. But again, it's the other side of the argument, right? Like if Rafa didn't start against Santa Clara early this season, right? He came in at halftime and we throttled them in the second half, right? But if we don't win that game, the argument is why the fuck didn't Rafa start? He's our best player, right? Same thing here, right? If Rafa doesn't start this game or whoever the case may be, right? Like you have the other argument. Why did we rotate players, right? If we played our starting 11 tomorrow and we lose, right? Why do we start our starting 11, right? They're going to get
we won the game and I'm complaining about the starting 11. I'm not saying like why if we lose or win. I'm saying we come off a Bayern game where we're chasing the ball for 65% of the time and we have players that are carrying themselves, right? Those players that are crucial to us, Rafa's, and in this case, he believes Darwin is crucial to us. Those players, the fast players coming off the bench, to me, would be more crucial, would be more important. That's just my opinion. But or else he doesn't trust anybody else on the bench. Then what the fuck team we have?
Yeah, but I also think it's a part of it too is because he knows that we have a League Cup game come after this one that they're going to get enough rest that like he's like I'm not gonna risk the taking Rafa off the field against Vizela because he might be tired and potentially losing the Vizela game to save him for what? He's going to be sitting again in the Taça da Liga game. So
yeah, we lose tomorrow to Jimenez. We're out of the cup too.
Yeah, but I think the cup is not as important.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna rank.
Wait, isn't this the Taça da Liga?
Taça da Liga.
If you're gonna rank, you do. It's 3 teams per group. And Guimarães already played their game.
And they won 2-0. So they're 3 points. If they beat us, they're through. We're out. We're home.
We just have to make sure we don't lose. If we tie, we can basically depend on ourselves in the last game. It's a different format.
Well, we have to score more than 2 goals.
It's at home
on the last game.
Yeah, but do you think that we're going to play with our starting lineup?
No, I don't think we should. But I mean, it shouldn't be a total different 11 like we did against. I
bet your boy Pizzi starts.
Nah, whatever, guys. Yeah, put him with the junk and then say, he doesn't play good.
He's probably not going to play good.
Let's finish this one up here. So MVP, Kenny, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna give it to Rafa. He like Oscar said. I mean, he was gassed and he still found a way to be at the right spot at the right time to score. So I'd give it to Rafa. And I just wanted to say something about the Serbian. So the way he was going at the defenders one-on-one is exactly the player that I thought Everton was going to be. Yeah. I mean, these two are going to get compared a lot, especially if the Serbian's going to perform like he did against Vizela. Now, this could just be a one-time thing. But for me, I thought Everton was going to be that player that could take players one-on-one, and he has not been. He's just that one-trick pony that he cuts inside and shoots. He shoots from the corner of the box. That's all he does. So this kid showed a little bit more skill. So we'll see if. I mean, Jesus is going to play Everton. He's got a huge price tag on him. It's his guy, the one that he wanted the most. So he's going to play. But keep an eye on. I liked the way he came in, man. I really like. It reminded me of Di Maria, the way he was taking players on one-on-one down the line. It was really impressive. So we'll see.
But you know another player that does that a lot. I think he's hurt, right? Gil Diaz is actually a player that does that a lot. He goes in through the field and he just cuts players in and out. Like I think there's one time he came in for the left back or the right back, and it was and then he just kept cutting players. I'm like, whoa, this kid is not that bad. And I actually never heard of him before.
He was like a winger, right? And Jesus was trying to put him into the
family count.
Yeah. Jay, MVP.
MVP Rafa, the goal. I mean, there's nothing more I can say about that. I thought overall it wasn't a great game, but Rafa got the goal, so helped us there. Just one more thing, it was really good to see Vizela's fans show out like they did. I thought they were a huge push for their team as well. I think Sport TV even mentioned that as well. But they had a great atmosphere over there, and that's good to see in the Portuguese league too.
It'll be guess how many people that stadium fits?
Like 6.
I bet 5,000.
I would say Milford High probably has more.
5,000. So I mean, the atmosphere was great, but I think if they can play to that level, I think a lot of teams will struggle to get a result there. I mean, they've drawn their last 5 prior to this game, and you could argue that they didn't deserve to lose this one either. So it'll be interesting if they can maintain it throughout the season.
Hey, Mike, funny that Charles got the man of the match of the entire game.
Well, he made that big save. That's 2 goalies in a row against us.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, these guys, we don't play down. They play up to us. I mean, we may not look top notch, but like.
But what save did he do? He did like Diogo Gonçalves save. That's it.
I'm just saying.
And the Darwin one.
He's got the highest score by far on the man of the match.
Why not give it to Vlaco? Because he had more saves.
He caused his biggest save.
Vlaco did not have more saves.
Yeah, he did. Check out the game again, dude. I watched the game very close to over here, right? Really close to the TV.
They had 4 shots on target.
Huh?
They had 4 shots on target, and Charles made 6 saves.
So we had 6 on target.
So you were sleeping.
Yeah,
you must have been sleeping on some of those
check the
saves.
shots that they had on target, dude. The guarantee is balls that he picked up with his knee. I know, but he picked the. No, I'm talking about check him. Balls he picked up with his knee, like up.
Who's your man of the match, Oscar? Obviously
Beasy.
not Charles. Beasy. He had to do it.
Hey, dude, huge. That's great.
Yeah, if PZ does not come in, mark my words, we don't win this game.
Como é que foi o Jesus que diz?
Não.
Cruzamento passe.
Cruzamento passe. Foi a mestre.
Não há muito jogador que faz isso, pá.
Não há nenhum jogador que faz isso agora, né, Benfica?
To his credit, I don't know any other player on the team right now that would have crossed it when he crossed it. I think most of the guys would have tried to like take it down the line and then crossed it later on. He legit got it and just fucking whipped it in. Like, credit to him.
Yeah. Boa noite, Nelson. Obrigado.
Go hate on PZ some more.
Let's move on to our depth here. And I wanted to do a little exercise here. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen according to Benfica's roster here on our website, which is... So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each section here and essentially just, taking out the starters, what are our thoughts in terms of our depth and kind of what we would rate our depth from 1 to 10 in that section, right? So Audi's obviously our starter. We got Elton Leite, we got Svilad as goalkeepers. I'll start with Bill. Let me just reorganize this order here so I make sure I can keep everything in line. So let's do Bill, taking out Audi. In terms of goalkeepers, who do you think should be second and third? And from a scale from 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with our depth here?
So I think Elton is our number 2, and then
he is, but I'm saying, in your opinion, should he be the number 2?
Yeah. I would give Elton the number 2, and then Svilad the 3rd spot. And I mean, last year I didn't think Oldie deserved to come out, but I also don't think this year in return, Helton didn't do anything last year that would have warranted him losing this spot.
Except his red card.
He got a red card. That's why.
I mean,
hey, you be a knucklehead, you lose your position.
But so I think,
and that shouldn't have been a red, by the way.
No, exactly,
never.
Yeah. So I think depth-wise, I would say this is probably one of our stronger positions, right? And because I think Svilad has shown us glimpses of being a capable keeper, right? He's still young, but he's showing glimpses, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was to play tomorrow. But I think out of a scale of 10, my confidence in the goalies, I'd probably say a 9 or a 10.
Damn.
I'm gonna write this.
If you swap out, do you have less confidence in Elton than you do in Odysseus from what he played last year?
I agree.
But you're rating our overall position like almost perfect. I don't think that's. I don't think they're.
It's your confidence in the depth at that position.
I agree with Bill. I'm confident.
I'm confident that if Obi goes out, gets injured for a couple games, or gets a red card, I'm confident that Elton can come in and you wouldn't notice a difference.
I'm confident. I agree with Bill. I think at goalie, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
What's your rating in terms of our backups, 1 to 10? What's your comfort level?
Like as a group?
No, just our backups, right? So if Audi goes down, right? How confident are you that
with late? I mean, look, let's face it. If Olde goes down, I'm very confident with. I think it's almost an even swap with late. Now, if late goes down, you're going to your third keeper. I think that goes with any team. When you go to your third keeper, you're not going to be as confident. I think it's not a huge drop off from Ode late to Slivad, but obviously it's a bit of a drop off. But the top two is what's most important to me, and I think you have probably two top-notch goalies right there.
Okay, what's your number?
So I would say I would agree with Bill. I would be 1 out of 10 this goalkeeper position comfortably at 8-9 out of 10.
Okay, Oscar.
All right, so I don't think any of those goalkeepers are Ederson or Blocks or anybody like that. So I consider Odyssey is our best goalkeeper at a 7. Late, our second best goalkeeper at a 6. Slivar scared me against Manchester United when he first started, so that game is still a nightmare to me. So I'll probably put him as a 4. Average on my thing, probably a 5.5, 6.
Okay.
This is gonna be amazing scores for Oscar.
Kid's got his calculator up. Jay.
To me,
you're comparing to other years of Benfica, or are you comparing to other teams?
No, I'm just comparing my confidence on this position.
So,
this position,
to be honest, I kind of took the same approach as Oscar. I kind of graded them as a group. To me, a 10 is you're talking
Ederson and Blocks.
Yeah, you're talking they're top-notch goalkeepers, which.
We're not rating the goalies, guys. We're rating our confidence in the group.
Well, you listen. You did it your way. You did it your way. I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I did it differently. I did it kind of like Oscar did. I rated them overall as a group a 7.5. And I did write that they're strong as a unit.
Oh, fuck?
Well,
that's a professional score, dude.
Yeah,
you don't watch
one knows the rules.
This is like rating pizza, but
exactly. So listen, I went 7.5. I think
7.5.
I just think that they're overall, our number 2 would be Elton, and then Slivad. I think overall they're all pretty much above average players, so that's where I kind of rated them. And average to me is 5, and then I went up they're between greatness and they're above average, so I went 7.5 as a group.
Fair.
So just to clarify how I graded this, I'm grading this as a position group compared to the rest, compared to basically the top 3 in the Portuguese league. I'm not comparing them to Ederson or King.
No, I'm not either. I'm not comparing them to Ederson and Oblak. I'm not comparing them. I'm just comparing them as a group.
So wouldn't you say in the league that we don't have the top 2 goalkeepers in the league?
We don't. No. I think Porto with the Argentinian guy and Diogo Costa, to me, are better than these 2.
I would disagree.
I wouldn't go there.
I think we have the top 2 goalkeepers in the league.
I don't.
In my opinion. But
I like Sporting.
Odyssey is the same level as the Argentinian goalkeeper from Porto. What's his name?
Someone look up the stats and
add Dan from Sporting. And Dan from Sporting is good.
Then I like Adan. What's the goal differential with all the other teams? Who's got the least goals scored on?
Yeah, but that could be more on defense too.
Let me see. So Benfica.
It's a stat to look at.
Sporting has 4 conceded. Benfica has 5, and Porto has 6.
Okay, so we're around the same level. That's fair. I mean that's fair.
But I'm just judging them as a group. Overall, I think that
it's confidence level on that position. To me, it's a confidence level.
To be honest,
if I feel like Oblak going to Bayern and playing against Bayern, do I feel confident in Oblak being not Oblak, Odysseus or Late or Slivar? I'm like, damn, I feel like a 6.5 confident on that position. I don't feel like dude, I'm a 9 or 10 in this position. This position is good.
Oscar, you got someone that agrees with you finally.
Not finally. It's 99% of the people agree with me. They just don't want to say it.
99% of the time, 50% of the time, right?
Yeah.
All right, moving down the list here. Defense. We got a lot of options. And then
go from position, like right backs or center backs and left backs.
So right backs, no, we're not going to go by position. André Mendes, Gil Dias Ferro, Gilberto, Diogo, Grimaldo, Morato, Otamendi, Valentino, Verissimo, and Vertonghen. Regulars, we got André, Diogo, Gri, Otamendi, Lucas, and Vertonghen, right? So in terms of outside backs, we got Gil Diaz, Gilberto, we got Lazaro. In terms of center backs, we got Morato, we got Ferro, and Andre Almeida can play there too. And
you might be able to shrink the screen so you don't have to keep scrolling.
Yeah,
No.
you can make the guy smaller.
Really?
Make your page smaller. Like you're
The other way.
Go the
No,
other way.
you're maximizing it.
Yeah, the other way. There you go. One more. You
There we
almost
go.
had it, dude.
What do you mean? Oh,
One more. É o contrário, caralho. Foda-se.
it's not doing it.
É assim,
go.
mais, ó. There you go.
Here we go.
Yeah, you can see him now.
So we have multiple options for different positions. Jay, I'm going to start with you this time. And outside of our regulars, right? We got our 3 center backs. We got Grimaldo, and then on the right we got Diogo, or we got Andrea, or we got Lazaro. How confident are you if one of our big names back there goes down? Right? Are you comfortable with like a Ferro coming in? Are you comfortable with a Morato leading the ship?
So, as a group, I rated them as a 6.
Okay.
I feel like besides the starters, our depth isn't the greatest on this. Center backs, Morato's is impressed, but Ferro scares the shit out of me. And Morato's only 19 years old. Right back, I think we're set on right back. Gilberto, Lazaro, and Diogo. I feel like in Andre Almeida, you could throw him. Andre Almeida could play in all those in any position over here. But I think right back we're okay. Left back scares me. Grimaldo with he's good going forward, but defensively he sucks. And Gil Diaz is a project that Jesus is trying to work. Luckily, you guys said that Lazaro can play both, right? I mean,
Yes.
that helps. But it would be nice to have maybe 1 or 2 more better options. Like to me, I would probably take out Gil Diaz and Ferro and try to get 2 better options for those 2 positions.
Okay. Oscar?
I actually feel pretty confident in the group. All right. So because we can we start with 3 center backs, but we can change it to 2 center backs, right? You can go to a 4-back line, and that way we have an extra center back technically on the bench. But having the 3 center backs and then having Morato as a substitute for playing a 3 system, I feel confident. The only position that scares me is the left back. If Grimaldo goes down, is the only position that kind of scares me, because I don't think Gil Diaz is adapted 100% for that position. But other than that, I think I rate that position confidence-wise probably a 7.
Okay.
You wouldn't be scared if one of our center backs go down?
No, if we lost Verissimo when Morato stepped in perfectly, I felt confident.
Okay.
Fair. Kenny?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of players here, but I'm not fully sold on the Latrage and Ferro too. I would like to see another center back step in there. The Latrage, I feel like we're just getting old, very old at this at the defensive position. I mean, Andre Almeida to me doesn't have that spark anymore. I think he's just, the injuries have caught up to him. I also think, like Oscar said, if Grimaldo gets hurt, I don't think we have an equal to come in that position. So I think we could do better. But I think it's better than the start of last year. I mean, we got Lucas Verissimo, halfway through the season. That helped. So overall, the position, I'm kind of like 50-50. So I'm at a 5.
Damn. Bill?
Yeah, I think we've seen glimpses from Lazaro that show he can play the wingback position, right? And I think if Grimaldo was to go out, I think Lazaro could fill in. I don't think he's a long-term solution there. I think Grimaldo, attacking wise, is a better option, but I think Lazaro does have the capability to play there. And I mean, center back wise, I'll be surprised if Ferro ever sees the field.
He did the other day.
But like Oscar
probably
said,
tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll play tomorrow. But like Oscar said, with Morato, I think he has a huge ceiling. We've seen it this season already. He's filled in, and we haven't noticed a drop off in quality. So I'd probably give them a ranking of 7.
Oh, you agree with me too. See, told you it's 99% of 50 people.
All right. Moving down the list here. Oh God, what the hell did I do? Share screen. All right. Moving down the list, we got our midfield. Here's going to be a lot of questions. Paulo Bernardo, Everton, Jetson, João Mario.
Jetson's still there.
Yeah. Nemanja, Pizzi, Rafa, Taarabt, and Weigl. I'm going to start with Bill this time. How are you feeling here?
Not so good. I mean, they have Rafa listed here as a midfielder, right? He's not. I mean, Rafa's a forward.
Yep.
So take him off this list, and
The
if you're
average
looking
goes
at,
down?
oh yeah,
If you take him off the list, you got to take out Everton too. Then they
True.
both
Yeah, I mean,
play the
And
wings.
Nemanja.
And
Pizzi,
yeah.
like I don't think these guys are.
And Pizzi comes out for Rafa all the time in the 89th minute, so he plays up front. If you
Wait,
take
are we looking at the A team or just the B team? I see Pizzi on here.
All he has to say to you is this: 3 pontos a mais por causa dele.
But so in that midfield, right? I'm looking at João Mario and Weigl, and if one of those guys go down or both of those guys go down, we haven't seen enough of Mike, or Mike, whatever his name is, to know if he can fill in long term. You see glimpses. He's a big dude, but I think we touched on the last week. We just, I mean, the jury's out. We have no clue what he's going to be yet, and we all know what Taarabt is in the midfield, and pairing him with Pizzi or Jetson, I think there's a recipe for disaster.
Is there a rate coming?
Yeah,
He's calculating it in his head.
I'm trying to do the Oscar calculations here.
Times 2, carry the 1.
I'm gonna go like a 4.5, just because I think the drop off from João Mario and Weigl to these other guys is huge. Like I just don't see how anyone can fill in. We saw it last year, and that was our biggest point last year. We couldn't figure our midfield pairing, and he just kept rotating and rotating. And I think if you lose those two guys, or one of those two guys, we're in the same boat we were last year. He's not going to know who the hell to pair in the midfield, and it's going to be a rotation. It's going to be all sorts of havoc.
Let's hope we don't run into that. Jay.
So I'll give my rating first, and then I'll talk about it. My rating is 5.5. Kind of agree with Bill. Our center mids, if we lose Weigl or João Mario, I think we're kind of screwed because we're gonna have to play with youth. Guess some Paulo Bernardo, and Jetson, and Mate, and Taarabt, which he can leave. But I mean, I would probably want to add like a couple backups for Weigl and João Mario to the team. Wingers, Rafa. I don't mind Rafa and Pizzi on one side. I don't mind that. It's Everton and the Serbian. Everton's the one that kind of bothers me, just because of the price tag, and he hasn't really found he hasn't found himself on this team yet. So I kind of gave him a little depth-wise. I kind of just gave him a 5.5 because I just feel like they have good starters, but their backups need work, like pretty much every position.
Okay. Kenny?
So I kind of agree, but I still think better off than last year.
Yeah, because we have João Mario.
And last year we probably rated a 2. So anything above a 2.
I mean, it's still an improvement. It's still an improvement.
Yeah, definitely an improvement.
But yeah, I mean, I would give it. I still like. this year I've said that I feel comfortable with our depth, but I was also comparing it to last year, and I still think we are better off this year than last year, depth wise, and the squad as a whole. But yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, if you're looking at the type of drop off from a João Mario to whoever would take his position, who like Jedson, yeah, that's a huge drop off. But I mean, you're not going to have the same type of you're not going to have a backup equal to João Mario
unless you're Bayern Munich, where you can take off Coleman and bring in Gnabry.
But what I feel okay with, say, instead of João Mario and Weigl for Jedson might, or I don't know, Peasy and might. I don't know. Like I wouldn't feel as bad as like I did last year. I mean, last year we had Gabriel Tarat still on the team, but I mean he's more of a backup now. He's got a more clearer role coming in off the bench versus starting games like he did last year. So, but overall, yeah, I mean, I would say probably somewhere like another 5. Not thrilled about it, but I think we're still better off than last year. Oscar?
I'm not, see, when you say confidence, and I rate the players as a whole, and I think like, all right, if one goes down, I trust the second one backing it up. I think I don't trust the midfield. The midfield is probably the position, and a lot has to do with half of these players don't see a lot of the field. So we really don't know how they can pin up if one of the starters goes down. So this position, I'm rating it 3.5 because I really do. I swear to God, if we lose João Mario or Weigl, we are going on a fucking cliff. Yes,
the cliff is gonna happen, guys.
And not because the players around them are bad. It's because they don't see the field. We don't know what can they bring to the table. So to me, this is probably the position that scares me the most.
So what I'm taking from here is the average for midfield is definitely a red flag for you guys.
No, it's not
in terms of confidence level.
Yeah, confidence. They come in to play 3-4 minutes. They don't come in with confidence.
So
the starters are 100%.
The starter, it's called talking about as a position a whole, in the midfield.
Yep.
So Mike, we said ours. Just give us a quick glance of what you thought
for me
up to the goalies. I mean, up to the attackers.
For me, goalies, I would say I would agree with you, Jay, around the 7-8 range. I think that Audi is good. I don't think he's the caliber of what we've had in years past, but I think he's a good enough caliber for the Portuguese league. He's still young. He's still got a lot to learn. He's now playing for Greece as a starter, so that should help. Elton Late, I don't think is bad. I don't think he's great. I thought he did fine last year, but I disagree with Kenny when he says that I think that we have the 2 best goalies in the league. I disagree. I don't think so. I think Marchesine is better than Elton Late. I think Adan is better than Elton Late. Defense wise,
I'm saying two combo.
Yeah, Marchesine and Diogo Gonçalves. Your cost is good.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I don't even know who Sporting's backup is. Maximiliano, I think.
I think he left.
No, he's there.
I like Adan too. I like Adan too, but I would say both keepers. I would take our
I think that one's an arguable one, like Oscar said. I think between the 2 Porto ones, I would agree. Although the new Porto kid, I don't remember what's his name.
Diogo Costa, he's good. I saw him in the 21. He's unbelievable. He's good.
He's the under 21 goalie.
He's still lacking a little bit of experience.
Yeah, he's good. No, I saw he's been playing for Porto started the whole season so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Defense, I feel comfortable. I think we have enough players there. They're not all great, but I think that we have enough coverage. I think we have enough experience, but I think as the years pass, like Kenny said, right, we have aged legs there, and I think we need to start looking at some youth and not just the age and experience. Midfield.
What's the rating though?
The rating, I would say probably, I would go at about a 7.5. I think, and then midfield, I agree with you guys. I think that we're 1 injury or 2 injuries away from a massive mishap. I think in the center of the park, I'm not as concerned. In the center of the park, I am concerned. On the wings, I'm not concerned. I think we have enough players that can fill in, especially playing with a back 3. But I think, like you guys said, João Mario and Weigl are kind of
So what's your rating there?
I would say probably like a 4.
And FYI, that goes for a lot of teams.
True.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think like you guys said, right? We haven't seen enough of the other guys like in a row to be able to formulate a better opinion. But from what we've seen, I think that we can all agree that I think right now on the surface, we think that the drop-off is substantial, right? And ideally, you don't want that drop-off to be too much. And that could be the case if they start playing more regularly. But I think right now, from what we've seen, and it's still early in the season, but I think the drop-off could be substantial, but I hope that's not the case. Forwards, I think this is the one that we're probably best suited across the entire field. But Kenny, I'll start with you.
Well, I think there's plenty of options here. I think we have players. I mean, from years past, probably not the best group of forwards, but I think we're serviceable here. I think we have enough firepower to be able to, backfill if someone gets hurt. I mean, Seth is coming back from an injury. He's proven that he can score goals. We have youth on the team with Gonzalo Ramos and Darwin. And Yaremchuk is, hopefully he can develop into a good, the player that, he should be. I mean, he's an internationally kind of blew up a little bit during the Euros. Pinu's I don't know what the Pinu signing was to begin with.
He's out for the season.
Yeah. I mean, he's irrelevant. But I think we have a decent mix. Like if I don't think there's a huge drop off from any one of them, really. I think Gonzalo Ramos could easily, flip-flop with Darwin very easily. And same with Seferovic and Yaremchuk. So, like I said, not the best group of forwards, but as a whole, if one got injured and someone had to back them up, I think they're pretty much equal. So I would say this group I would give, a 7.532.
Yeah, 3 difficult.
So
I wrote it exactly like that too.
Or 6.9.
Hey, how old is Yaremchuk, by the way?
He's 25, I think. Hold on,
So he's still young too.
Yaremchuk, let's see. He is 25, yep.
He's got to be the focal point, though. He's got to be. He's the center.
Yeah, he's got to score goals.
He's the striker. He's got to score goals.
Correct.
I mean, at this point, Darwin's more of a forward striker, and same goes with Gonzalo Ramos. They're both players that need space to move around. Seth and Yaremchuk are both legit like poachers, strikers. So Seth has proven that he can do that. Yaremchuk has to prove that.
Hey, he's got 4 goals and 4 assists, so not
Chuk?
so bad. Yeah, Chuk's got 4.
It's early in the season.
Rafa's got 6 and 2. Darwin's got 6 goals, no assists. Oscar.
All right, so I don't know why you guys praise these guys like to the moon, but I don't yet. I mean, I haven't seen enough from Yaremchuk to tell me that he's our Jonas or our Mitroglou or our. He hasn't. He's not as consistent as I thought he was going to be. Darwin, I already gave you guys my feeling about Darwin. He's not a number 9 striker. He's more of like a guy who needs space on the sides, like where Jesus is playing them now. And Seth, he was our 4th striker 2 years ago. So he's come from our 4th striker when we had Jonas, Mitroglou, and Jimenez to being our probably number 1 or 2. So how confident I am in our strikers? Probably a 5.
Damn.
But
they don't score.
But you
Rafa
said
has the most goals.
But for the midfield,
and he can shoot and he can score, according to you guys.
But in the midfield, your grading was from drop
3.5
from starters to backup.
Yeah, our starters right now.
What's the drop off from Darwin to a Gonzalo Ramos?
I'm talking about a confident level as a position. I'm not talking about our drop off. I'm talking about a position. I considered like our midfield at 3 because if I average everybody out, it's not because they're bad, it's just because I haven't seen them playing. I average them at 3 because we have a solid number, like 2 in the middle, but I don't see anybody else. So the average comes down tremendously. Here, to me, they are all average. They don't score goals.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, our top 3 goal scorers this season are strikers. 2 of them.
Who's got the most goals in the league so far?
From what I'm talking about, our level and our strikers.
Oscar, honestly, I love you, man, but every single position you graded different. Like you had different.
No, I didn't.
Criteria for each position.
How? I'm averaging the position as a whole from starters and subs together.
Goalie, you gave us all a rating, and then you used a calculator and divided it out. The second one, you went on the drop off.
All right, so I'll tell you. I'll actually tell you. So I told you, Audi to me was like a 7 or 8, right? And then late was a 6 or was 6.5, whatever it is. And then I didn't trust Slivar. So the average ended up being a 6, 6.5, right? That's what I said. In the midfield, we have João Mario and Weigl. Probably I give them 9s, right? The other midfielders, I give them like 2s, all right? So you average those out, it probably a 3 or 4.
No, it's not.
Average them. Can you do the math?
You're bad at math if you think that.
All right.
And to answer your question quickly, leading scorers Taremi with 7 in the league, Luis Diaz with 6, Yaremchuk 6th or tied for 4th, or 5th with 4 goals. Darwin has 4, and Rafa has 3.
So yeah, our forwards are scoring goals.
Well, so is my math correct, or should I do it all here for you?
Dude, I just wanted to bring that out.
No, I'll tell you.
Every single position you
Tank,
had a different category.
I just told you the categories, and I'm telling you the ratings. So
you already gave us your rating. I'm going to give you my rating for the forwards.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm done listening to your math.
It's all right. It's all right.
I gave my guys. I gave the forwards a 7. I kind of agree with Kenny. There's not much of drop off if you plug and play any one of them.
Yeah, because they're all bad.
I feel like they can all deliver. Ramos has played good when he's played. Even Pingu scored a goal when he played. I kind of want to see Seth get into the action a little bit, just because he was our leading goal scorer. But I mean, I kind of disagree with Oscar. I think Darwin and Chuck have been doing fine for us up front. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll let Oscar talk if he wants to keep going.
No, I'm done.
Also, don't forget that Taremi has 7 goals, but he also takes their penalties, so that plays into it as well.
And it says 9. He's got 9 starts. Darwin and Chuk Darwin has 6 starts. 1 has a sub, and Chuk has 6 subs. 1 has a sub as well. So less games, 3 less games. I don't know.
Hey, use your calculator. Figure out the math. Goals per game.
Bill,
it's 4.5.
So I agree with what Kenny and Jay had mentioned. I don't think there's a huge drop off from our starters to the guys on the bench, like there is in the midfield. I think we can take. I think Ramos. If Ramos starts or if Seth starts, I think there's not a huge drop off in the quality of those players compared to Yaremchuk and Darwin. So I'd give him. I'm going to give him a 7.
Wait. No, I have to fucking say something. No, wait. Shut the fuck up now. Let me fucking talk. So you're trying to say that the 2 goal scorers, the only strikers that score goals, Darwin and Yaremchuk, right? There's not a big jump off to the subs, which is Ramos and who the fuck else is there?
Seth
doesn't play. He's hurt. So think
he's coming back.
He's coming out. Yeah, tomorrow,
but he's not back. So put Ramos in. And you think putting Ramos in as 0 goals, it gives you confidence?
Ramos hasn't played much, but I think
Ramos when he started the season he played. I thought he played great. At the beginning of the season when Ramos was playing, I thought he played great. Yeah, he didn't score. I thought he played great.
You don't need a calculator to add his goals up because there's none.
To me, Ramos is the same type of player as Darwin. It's an easy swap, one for the other.
Yep.
For this,
and Seth is a proven goal scorer in the Portuguese league.
Right.
So once he gets going, I think swapping him or Yaremchuk, I think they're comparable. I think Ramos and Yaremchuk, the style they play, is comparable, and I don't think there's a huge drop off there.
But let me
I love Seth, but he needs like 15 chances
to score 1 goal.
Doesn't matter. A guy scored 30. Didn't he score 30-something goals last year?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the total.
I'll tell you right now.
Well, in all competitions, not just on the Portuguese league.
Yeah, as overall.
Goals,
yeah. He had like
last year he had 26 goals in all competitions.
26 goals. Wasn't he? He was competing with Pot for the play,
And he didn't play half the season.
right. So by the way, I just wanted to clarify this. We like Oscar and I have different ratings, but I agree with we have the same analysis of the forward group. I agree. This isn't the best group of forwards we've seen in a long time, but I'm we're kind of saying the same. Well, you might think that there's a drop off from Ramos to Darwin, but I agree with you. This is not the best assembly of forwards that we've had in a long time. They haven't proven it yet. I'll put it that way.
Well, the drop off is 6 goals to 0 or 20 million to.
Oh wait, so Oscar, you're going to 6 goals to 0. What's the minutes difference too? How many games?
Dude, the reason
the games.
If you're a coach and you think Ramos is the same caliber as Darwin, then they should both. Then Darwin shouldn't be starting every single game.
Who's saying
one's
that
saying- I'm
You guys are saying there's not a. You guys are saying
there's not a
there's a 1 for
massive
1. You guys can submit, and you said you can put Ramos in for Darwin, and you wouldn't see the difference. You
I
said that.
said the
If Darwin-
playing style is comparable.
If
So the
Darwin
way
gets
Ramos
hurt,
plays is the way
So
Darwin.
Jesus does not agree with you because he doesn't play Ramos he doesn't start
He
Ramos
just
in the
thinks
game.
that Darwin's a little bit better, so that's why he starts him.
So he plays him every 3 games.
And
Every
we're
2 days.
probably
Who's
trying to
saying,
sell him
no one?
for
I don't think
80
anyone
million.
said
we're talking
Ramos
about
was better than
injuries.
Darwin.
If Darwin gets
or
hurt,
equal.
if Darwin gets hurt, Ramos goes in and fills that position just as good. He's
Sure.
the same type of player.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Maybe you've seen
You
something that I
didn't see
haven't.
then you didn't see the
Didn't even
beginning of
watch
the
the
season.
Yeah, you didn't watch the beginning of the season.
Maybe
You were too
not.
busy. You were too
I-
busy putting numbers
if-
in the calculator.
If Ramos was playing so well, I should have seen goals. I haven't seen any.
Let's just put it this way: if Darwin gets
Dude, you're
seriously
praising-
hurt, Ramos goes in and starts in that position. Pizzi still comes in the 85th minute.
Dude, Ramos has played 13 games this season. I didn't realize he played that
you guys.
many.
You guys can
Yeah,
keep
but
bringing up.
Mike, look at the minutes.
552.
He's
Yeah,
barely playing
0
shit.
goals. 0
So,
goals in 552 minutes.
Let me get my calculator over here.
Hey,
552 divided by 13.
side note. Oscar kind of praised Darwin a little bit in this section.
Well,
right here.
you guys are
Just say it, just say it, just a
I'm
little
just
side note.
I'm just saying facts, right? If you guys are talking about comparable players are comparable in the position, I think there's a big drop off. I think, and because I look at forwards as goals, right? And if the forwards don't have goals, to me is a big drop off. Ramos has 500 how many minutes?
552. He averages
Okay,
about
0
42
goals.
minutes per start.
0
per
goals.
appearance.
Come on, give me a fucking shit. How is that a drop off?
I'm looking at him right now. I'm gonna see. He probably
Get outta
comes in
here.
just in the right.
Yeah, check Pizzi's minutes. Stop, dude. Stop. And
Yo,
Pizzi-
honestly, give me Pizzi's.
I don't know numbers. I don't know.
Oh, well,
numbers.
I'm not asking you. You have the calculator. You should have the numbers.
I know. I have the calculator
Pizzi's
for
got-
averages.
Pizzi's got 14 appearances, 3 assists, 490 minutes.
Yeah,
he's
not a
got less
striker
minutes
though.
than Gonzalo.
Not a striker.
So they basically come right at the end of the games.
Just to give you some context, Gonzalo has played 4 minutes against Barcelona, 9 minutes against Bayern, 53-65 against Spartak, 19-29 against PSV. He played 90 minutes against Moreirense the first game of the season, 33 against Aroca, 90 against Gil Vicente, 75 against Tondela. He was not in the squad or injured. 3 against Portimonense and 20 against Vizela.
Okay, and 0 goals. How many goals does he have? Assists? Does he have any assists? I don't know.
He has none.
Okay,
One
Yeah,
assist.
that's- one assist.
that's that caliber from. I mean, I've been fucking shitting on Darwin, but man, if you guys are trying to say that there's not a jump off, a big jump off, then there's something wrong.
Honestly,
with
Oscar, you really didn't see Gonzalo play in the beginning of the season because he
Guy,
really.
but-
No, okay, let me talk.
No,
Let me
God.
talk. I'm just saying you didn't see him because in the beginning of the season he played very well. I know he didn't score. He didn't get on the stat sheet. Like that's the most important thing to you.
For a striker, yes, we said it.
I get it.
For a striker.
I get it for you. I said it for you. But overall, I thought he played well. He played within the team, and he did what he was. I think against the first game against Moreirense, he worked his ass off. I remember we praised him, like how good of a game he played. And like I'm just saying, like we have better options now, and that's the reason why they're going with him. Maybe he shuts you up tomorrow.
I was just gonna say that's a good.
That's my hope. My hope is for Darwin to score 30 goals in this season, even though I shit him. My hope is for all the strikers to score 30 goals every season. But I'm being kind of like,
Dude, Gonzalo Ramos will score a fucking hat trick tomorrow.
I hope so. I'm not, and it's not because I like the kid. I wanted
You
João
sure don't
Felix.
talk about like you like him.
Oh, contrario. I'm just being like, you guys are trying to prove a point that's not there.
Fair. All right. Well, we'll see. He's most likely going to start tomorrow, so we'll see. Keeping a close eye on him. We got.
Mike, what's your rating?
I would say probably about a 7. I agree with Oscar that I think with some there's a drop off, right? But if Seth's there, I think that he gives you enough quality. But then again, like looking at the positioning, right? Like Rafa is technically a forward, Radonjic is technically a forward, right? But I think in terms of that front three, I think we have some decent depth and capabilities there. But
and one more thing to talk about, Gonzalo. We're talking about a 19-year-old kid.
How old is Darwin?
22?
20?
20.
No, he's definitely older than 20.
Darwin is 22.
Yeah. You're talking about a 19-year-old kid that is basically starting his professional career. He's getting some games in. But, like, you praised Diogo Costa. I understand he's had some good games. He's a Portuguese under-21 international. But Ramos is too. He's 19 and playing in the under-21s, and the other day he scored 4 goals.
I'm not.
The dude could score goals. Like he just.
Jay, I'm not.
No, you are. You really.
I'm not. Wait. I'm not shitting on Gonzalo Ramos. I'm not. I'm just saying I rate our strikers by the goals they score. Every fucking team does that. Like we rate the striker by the goals they score. If a striker plays 552 minutes and he has 0 goals, you kind of can't say he's a top goal scorer. You can't. Be realistic.
No
he's not.
No one's calling him a top goal scorer. I'm just saying that he's very comparable to Darwin. The way that they play, very comparable.
Okay.
All right. Well, quickly around the table, get your score for tomorrow. Benfica hasn't lost at Guimarães since 2012, and it was for the league. We lost 1-0 since then. We've played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 games against them away, and we've won them all and drawn 1. So hopefully that trend continues. We beat them earlier this season, 3-1, while we watched in church from my mobile device. So hopefully we have the same fortune this time around. Bill, I'm going to start with you. Just give me a score.
I'm going to say 2-1 Benfica, and that's very dependent on the squad Benfica rolls out.
All right, Oscar?
I'm going to wait and for the squad to tell you the final score, but I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay. Jay?
1-1. Go, Jay. Yeah, go, Jay.
2-0. Ramos with a double.
Hold on, I put this wrong.
2-0.
Oscar said 1-1. Okay. Kenny?
So I might change, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Benfica.
And I'm gonna go. I expect some rotation, but not the full squad. I'm going to say 2-1 as well. All right. Well, we had an eventful conversation here with some various opinions. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We had quite a few comments. We had quite a few people watching as well. Some people were shy to add in the comments, but Tiago Nelson, the other Tiago here is my brother. There was some other names at the beginning. I can't scroll that far back, but thanks to everyone that was in the chat. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Like us, share us, subscribe, follow, do all of those things. We'll appreciate it. We will be back next week, hopefully with a victory against Guimarães, and we play Studio at the weekend. Boys, as always, it was a pleasure. Don't get too upset about the back and forth, and we will chat soon. See you, boys.
Later,
Thank you,
boys.
guys.
Later,
Thanks,
boys.
everyone.